Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 15 is entitled as Puruṣottama Vidya, Puruṣottama Yogam. Sloka 19, Part 19. Yo māmevam asammudaha janāti puruṣottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena Bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me. It is very, very important for those who are serious in attaining liberation from this material world. Who is that Supreme Lord? Why He is Supreme Lord? If we don't know answers to these two, then it is very difficult to know what we are supposed to do or to whom we must perform worship. This chapter, Puruṣottama Yoga, Puruṣottama Vidya, is specifically dedicated for that purpose. From this chapter, we learn who is that Supreme Lord and why He is Supreme. Out of 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, out of 700 slokas overall, Krishna took only one chapter which had 20 slokas to speak about Himself. Though it is just 20 slokas, the message in it is the collection of all the scriptures in a condensed format. As this chapter is coming to an end, Krishna here in the 19th sloka says that just by knowing Him as Puruṣottama, a person is considered to be well versed in Vedas and Smritis. From that we can understand that this is what the essence of all the scriptures, the Vedas and Smritis, to establish who that Puruṣottama is. So, if we have known that Krishna is Puruṣottama, then we have already considered to be well versed in the scriptures. By knowing that Krishna is Puruṣottama, that person is considered to have practiced all the means to attain Him. So two things Krishna says here. A person who knows Krishna as Puruṣottama, he is well versed in Vedas and Smritis. That's number one. And the same person who knows Krishna is Puruṣottama is considered to have practiced all the means to attain Him. That's number two. When we say this, there could be a question or doubt. Since by knowing Krishna as Puruṣottama, we are well versed in Vedas and scriptures and we have practiced everything, so therefore we don't need to practice anything at all because we know Krishna is Puruṣottama. We don't need to study anything at all because we know Krishna is Puruṣottama. And this is what Krishna is trying to say. No need to perform any bhakti, no need to study any scriptures. All we need to be aware is Krishna is Puruṣottama. That's sufficient enough. And continue ourselves with our daily routine of whatever we do, that which is not really related to bhakti at all. But sad news for those who think like that. That's not what Krishna is trying to say here. What Krishna is trying to convey is the ananda that He attains by those who analyzed and studied the Vedic scriptures to understand and come to a conclusion that I, that is Krishna, is Puruṣottamaḥ, he attains the same ananda of those who just knows me, he as Puruṣottamaḥ, directly without even have to go through the scriptures. And the ananda that I attain by those who practice various means, upaya, karma, jnana, bhakti, to attain me, I attain the same ananda of those who just knows me as Puruṣottamaḥ directly, even without having to go through this upaya, means. So the important point is, ultimately one needs to know that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ. That's the point. Whether one comes to know that through studying the scriptures and practicing the means, or it could be without studying and practicing. But finally one needs to know that he is, Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ. But how that person knows plays less role. As long as one knows that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ, that gives ananda, the bliss to the Lord. So this still doesn't answer our question though. So just having the Shabdartha, the meaning of the word Puruṣottamaḥ is sufficient. Just knowing the meaning of Puruṣottamaḥ is good enough. Let's see what happens for those who have understood that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ. A person, now that he knows that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ because he is faultless, he is a single repository of all unlimited auspicious qualities, he is above and beyond the achetanas and chetanas, chetanas of baddhatmas and muktatma and nityatmas. He is not limited by the time, place and objects. He is of the form jnana and ananda. He is jagat karanatvam. He is the one who creates the universe. He holds it. He resides within it. He is pervaded everywhere. He rules over everything. Everything is part and parcel. Everyone is a servant and he is the master. There is no one else superior to him, and there is no one is equal to him. He is biggest of bigger things and smallest of smaller things. For one to appreciate the Lord, one needs to have these fundamental understanding. If we don't understand the greatness of someone, we will not want to connect with this person. We will not try to serve that person. Therefore, these are fundamental understanding that one needs to have if one knows that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ. Only by knowing this fundamental understanding, one will come forward to perform any sort of activities towards him. If one doesn't know these fundamental things, then how will one come forward to perform any bhakti towards him? Therefore, it implies if someone is performing bhakti towards Krishna, they have this understanding. If someone knows Krishna as Puruṣottamaḥ, that means they have all those fundamental understanding. Therefore, for serious, sincere devotees, this knowledge that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ, this knowledge which is known as Puruṣottama Vidya, is very, very essential. That is, there is no one can be called as Puruṣottama. This name is very special and specific to Krishna alone. There is only one Puruṣottama, not many. When we studied about Brahman, we learned that Brahman could be Jivatma, it could be referring to Prakriti, or it could refer to the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan himself. But when it comes to Puruṣottamaḥ, there is no such confusion at all. It is simply Krishna alone. It is not the Jivatma, it is not the Prakriti, it is not Brahma himself, it is simply Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ, I am not. And he who is Puruṣottamaḥ enters in to every Purusha, Baddhatma, Muktatma and Nityatma, and directs them. That is Avishya. That is, he enters into everything. But I don't enter into anything. I entered into this one body. I entered to my house. I entered to a shop. I entered to office. That means when I enter office, I do not enter the shop. When I enter shop, I don't enter the house. But the Lord is not like that. He enters in everything. The next is Bhibarti. He carries, he holds the entire creation. I don't carry anything. Well, one may say you are carrying your body, but within me, that Puruṣottamaḥ, that Paramatma is situated. If he is not present within me, I have no power to even lift this body. The Lord is Avyaya, imperishable. But I am perishable, meaning my body is perishable. Krishna, who is Puruṣottamaḥ, is Ishvaraha. He is a controller, complete controller, not just the controller of one body, not just the controller of a family like me, or not a controller of a country like a king, or not a controller of the world like an emperor, but he is controller, complete controller of everything. Therefore, he is real Ishvara, not me. He is Swami, he is master. I am not Swami. I am Dasa, I am servant of that Swami. Therefore, he is Puruṣottamaḥ, one without a second, because Avishya, Bhibarti, Avyaya, Ishvaraha, Swami and lot more are there to confirm and say that he is Puruṣottamaḥ. Asammodho, without delusion, that Lord is not equal to us. No Sajatiya Buddhi. Sajatiya Buddhi means considering ourselves or God equal to us. We both are equal. One must have Visajatiya Buddhi, that he is not equal to any one of us. He is completely different. God is individual and independent. Therefore, he cannot become like us. We are individuals, but we are dependent on the Lord. Even when the Lord descends into this world, he doesn't lose any of his potencies that he has. He is still free of all faults. He is still a single repository of all the auspicious qualities. He is Ananta, limitless. He is the same Lord with full of knowledge and bliss. But that's not the case with us. We are full of faults. We have less or no good qualities. We are limited in many ways. Therefore, we are not God. Well, maybe when we attain moksha, we will become God, because in my worship room, puja room, I have my ancestors' pictures. They died and they become God. Therefore, I worship them. This is also a delusion, thinking that we can become God, human can become God, or even Devata can become God. When we say God, the Supreme Puruṣottamaḥ. Brahman, because the Devatas are also referred as God, but in reality they are Devatas, demigods, not Puruṣottamaḥ, not Brahman, the absolute truth. So even if we attain moksha, liberation, we don't become one with God. We don't become a second God. Puruṣottamaḥ is only one. Brahman is one. Bhagavan is one. Without a second. Advitiyam. We have spent one complete session in this sloka to understand how he doesn't have a second. That person who is free of asamudha, that is, without delusion, who knows this, that person known as sarvavit, a knower of everything. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Shiksha, Chandas, Vyakarana, Nirukti, Kalpa, Jyotisam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all the Puranas, all the Upapuranas, the Saddarshana, the Agama Shastras, the Vedanta. So, he is knower of all the scriptures. By knowing a ball of clay, one cognizes the clay pot, clay toys, clay plates, etc. By knowing Krishna as Puruṣottamaḥ, one is considered to be knower of everything. And he becomes one who has done all different process. He gets the same result by whatever he would have done through other process. I become pleased, that is Krishna become pleased by such person and gets same satisfaction that I would have got through their other process. Therefore, this person is considered he has done all the different process to please the Lord. Such person who is completely aware that Krishna is Puruṣottamaḥ cannot be idle, cannot sit without doing anything, cannot be lazy. He does things for Krishna out of love. Bhajati mam. Sarvavit, sasarvavit bhajati mam. Sarva bhavena Bharata. What he does? He chants the names of God. He serves the Lord. He constantly hears about the Lord. He meditates on Krishna and his pastimes. He doesn't waste any of his time. He is always 24/7, 365 days in Krishna consciousness. Either chanting or serving or hearing or remembering about Krishna all the time. Sarva bhavena. He doesn't perform any of these things, that is chanting or serving, hearing or meditating upon Krishna for any prayojana, for any benefits to get out of it. He does without expectation of any prayojana. Swayam prayojana. He does for the sake of doing. But when the Lord gets satisfied by such devotees, the devotees get satisfied as well. To conclude, he who knows me without delusion as the Supreme Person, Puruṣottamaḥ, who is different and distinguished from everything else, as stated earlier, such a person knows all the modes of worship, having me as the object, and adores me alone in every possible ways. In the next sloka, the last sloka of this chapter, Krishna concludes saying that he, being Puruṣottamaḥ, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is most esoteric, only understood by some selected few special people, because there are so many who speculate hundreds and thousands of lives but does not come to the point that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hence, they do not surrender to Him. They simply live life wastefully. Therefore, those who have come to a conclusion, who understand that Krishna is puruṣottamaḥ, are very special ones. And this secret has been imparted to Arjuna, to you. Whoever understands this will become wise. And Krishna finally mentions the rewards that occurs to such person who grasp this knowledge. Yo mamevam asammudaha janati puruṣottamam sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena Bharata.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.